Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, I've been seeing some stories in my news feeds over the last few days about really big court cases with really big legal fees behind them. And I don't know about you guys, but I've only had to pay court fees a few times in my life. I've had a speeding ticket once or twice, and I don't even try to fight those when they happen. You got me, you got your little radar gun, whatever. I usually pay those electronically. You can send them a money order or pay them at the court date, whatever. You can show up in person and fight it if you want, but you just pay your fees. And if you don't pay your fees, if you don't show up in court, they can start garnishing your wages. They'll just take it out of your check. Sometimes you'll get a warrant for your arrest where you have to go to jail now because you didn't pay your fees. That's how it works for normal people, people like you and me whenever we get in trouble with the law. But there's a few court cases that are, I think, catching people's eye right now with how much they cost. Notably is the Donald Trump case with his New York fraud, and that case is done. That court has decided that he is liable for fraud. His company was inflating and deflating the cost of the business to score favorable loans, which that's illegal. That's fraudulent activity. It's bank fraud. You shouldn't do that unless you want to, pay fees for it because, yeah, fraud's illegal. We all know that. I know that. You know that. He's going to put this in appeals because he doesn't want to pay it. And I know you probably don't know what appeals means specifically, but basically that's just rich people court when they don't want to pay their court fees. So they just keep fighting it after the fact until they frustrate their opponent into not keeping up with the case. But I don't think this one will be given up on. That's actually like a huge problem, that sort of fraud. But the second court case that I've been seeing, got the update on yesterday, was Alex Jones, his InfoWars show, where the court case that he got himself wrapped up in was about Sandy Hook. How he lied about that all the time on his show for engagement. He kept claiming it was a false flag, and he got a lot of support for people from that. You know, People freaked out a bunch when they saw how much his court fees were, billion plus dollars. But you have to understand that InfoWars was pulling in almost $1 million a day just from subscriptions, not from marketing, not from deals that Alex Jones was doing, aside from the fact, just from the subscriptions. That man's got money, or he had money. I'm sure he's been blowing it as much as he can because he doesn't want to pay these legal fees out. But the court provided an update yesterday saying they were going to liquidize his assets in order to pay out these legal fees. And that's how this showed up in my feed because Tim Pool, in all of his glory, decided to post, I called it, about legal fees being paid out through liquidization of assets. The normal stuff that happens to people when you don't pay the court. So I don't really get what Tim Pool was calling here. All of his fans seem to agree that this is some grand conspiracy by Democrats or the left to harm Trump or harm Alex Jones. They keep saying they were these great truth tellers and this is how you silence them, but this isn't a conspiracy. This is just the law. That's how the courts work. You you know, Conservatives love pulling this line about, well, if you can't do the time, then don't do the crime. If you can't pay the fees, don't do the crime. Well, you did the crimes. If I did this, if you did this, we would immediately have to start paying this stuff out. Now, of course, $1 billion, $500 million court cases, we're not going to get involved with this stuff. But like I said at the beginning, you've had a speeding ticket before. You paid it off. You might have went to court for it so you could pay it off directly, but you get your money order together. You send them your check. Maybe you can just do it electronically. Maybe your county is in the 21st century, so you can do it that way. But normal people pay their court fees. That's how the world works. Rich people, somehow it's a problem when they have to pay their court fees. When they do something wrong, all of us have to deal with it. And then, of course, you get these top minds of conservative and libertarian circles who make it seem like it's the government trying to harm you. You harmed the world. You should have to pay for it. I that makes sense to me. I don't know how you feel about it, but if you disagree, I guess let me know in the comments. And yeah, I guess until we see more conspiracies pop up about how the law doesn't apply to conservatives, y'all try to have a good day.